Namaste and welcome. In my previous session, I discussed with you the question paper pattern for the forthcoming board examination. Also, we did 10 one-mark questions from the sample paper issued by Central Board of Secondary Education. In today's session, we will do 2 more questions, that is from question number 19 onwards. The remaining 1 mark questions, that is from question number 11 to 18, we will do it at the end. Here we go. Here, you need to express tan inverse cos x by 1 minus sin x, the interval minus 3 pi by 2 less than x less than pi by 2 in the simplest form. See, part B, question number 19 onwards, 10 questions will be there for 2 marks. So, you need to write every step giving reasons inside the bracket. So, here tan inverse cos x by 1 minus sin x can be written as tan inverse cos x, I can write it as sin pi by 2 minus x by 1 minus sin x can be written as cos pi by 2 minus x. You know, sin of 90 minus theta is cos theta. Cos of 90 minus theta is sin theta. So instead of theta, x is given here. So let me write the reason. Since sin 90 minus x is equal to cos x, cos 90 minus x equal to sin x. So that is what I made use of here. The reason is I can write the formula for both the numerator and for the denominator. So this is tan inverse. This is of the form sin theta. Take this as theta. Sin theta. What is sin theta formula? 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. So that formula I am going to make use of here. So 2 sin theta by 2. That means this will become pi by 4 minus x by 2. So 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2. By 1 minus cos theta, take this as theta. 1 minus cos theta is 2 sin square theta by 2. So when I use that formula, I get 2 sin square theta by 2. Pi by 4 minus x by 2. This is what I am getting. Let me write the formula here. Since sin theta is equal to 2 sin theta by 2 cos theta by 2 and 1 minus cos theta is equal to 2 sin square theta by 2. So these two formulae I made use of here. What will happen? 2 gets cancelled. This sin will get cancelled with this. I will be left with cos pi by 4 minus x by 2 by sin pi by 4 minus x by 2. You know, cos theta by sin theta is cot theta. So this is going to be tan inverse cot. Theta here is pi by 4 minus x by 2. Reason? Cos theta by sin theta is equal to cot theta. So this is the rule I made use of. Now again I can write this as tan inverse cot theta can be written as tan of pi by 2 minus theta. Tan of 90 minus theta is cot theta. So let me write the reason here. Since tan of pi by 2 minus theta is equal to cot theta. Okay, when I simplify this, I will be getting tan inverse tan of pi by 2 minus pi by 4 is going to be pi by 4. Minus into minus plus x by 2. This is nothing but I will be getting tan inverse of tan theta is theta. So that is nothing but pi by 4 plus x by 2. Since tan inverse of tan theta is equal to theta. Or in other words, I have written this inverse function tan inverse cos x by 1 minus sin x as pi by 4 plus x by 2. So this is the simplest form of this tan inverse cos x by 1 minus sin x. Therefore, you express this tan inverse cos x by 1 minus sin x. You can write the simplest form of tan inverse cos x by 1 minus sin x is pi by 4 plus x by 2. So this will be your final answer. Now let's move on to question number 20. Here, if A is a square matrix of order 3 such that A square equal to 2A, then find the value of determinant of A. It is a very straight question. Let's do it now. What is given to you? A square is equal to 2A. A square equal to 2A. I can write it as A into A is equal to 2A. When I take determinant on both sides, I will be getting determinant A into A is equal to determinant 2A. This is nothing but determinant of A into determinant of A, which is equal to 2 cube into determinant of A. What is the reason? Since determinant AB can be written as determinant A into determinant B. That's why I written determinant AA. I wrote it as determinant A into determinant A. Here what formula I made use of? Determinant K times the matrix A is equal to K to the power N into determinant of A, where N is the order of the matrix, K is the scalar. Here K is 2 and N is 3 because the order of the matrix is given to you as 3. So I will be getting, this is nothing but 8 into determinant of A. When I take out determinant of A as common, I will be getting determinant A minus, bring this also to this side, that to your left hand side, you get 8 is equal to 0. This implies determinant of A equal to 0 or determinant of A minus 8 equal to 0, which implies determinant of A equal to 0 or determinant of A is equal to 8. You need to write both the answers. Okay. Now, let us pass on to the choice question in the 20th question. The choice question here is, if A is the matrix 3, 1, minus 1, 2, show that A square minus 5A plus 7I is equal to 0 matrix. Hence, find A inverse. So, let's start doing this. First, let us find out what is A square. A square is nothing but A into A. What is the matrix A? 3, 1, minus 1, 2 into 3, 1, minus 1, 2. The usual pattern, let us multiply this. First row, first column, 9, minus 1. Then first row, second column, 3 plus 2. Second row, first column, minus 3, minus 2. Second row, second column, that will be minus 1 plus 4. Now, this is nothing but 8, 5, minus 5, 3. So, I got a square. I need to prove a square minus 5a plus 7i is equal to 0 matrix. So, let me substitute for a square, a, and for I. I is the identity matrix of order 2 because the given matrix A is of order 2. So, therefore, a square minus 5a plus 7i is equal to, a square is nothing but, just now you found it, 5 minus 5, 3, 8, 5 minus 5, 3, minus 5 into, a is nothing but 3, 1, minus 1, 2, plus 7 into I, 1, 0, 0, 1. Let us simplify this. 8, 5, minus 5, 3, minus scalar multiplication of the matrix. So, every element should be multiplied by 5. I will be getting 15, 5, minus 5, 10. Same is the case here. Every element should be multiplied by 7. I will get 7, 0, 0, 7. Now, let us combine the corresponding terms. I will be getting 8 minus 15 plus 7. Then 5 minus 5 plus 0. Minus 5 plus 5 plus 0. 3 minus 10 plus 7. Now, 15 minus 15, 0. 5 minus 5, 0. Then, minus 5 plus 5, 0. Here, 10 minus 10, 0. Which is going to be a 0 matrix. That is what we need to prove. So, which is your RHS. Of course, this is your LHS. So, therefore, LHS equal to RHS. That is a square minus 5a plus 7i is equal to 0 matrix. Hence proved. So, the first part is done. Now, let us do the second part of the question. The second part is hence find A inverse. So, the meaning of this word hence here is you need to make use of this equation to find A inverse. You cannot make use of the formula 1 by A inverse is equal to 1 by determinant of A into adjoint of A. That formula you cannot make use of here. You need to use only this equation. So what do you get? A square minus 5A plus 7i equal to 0 matrix. Multiply both sides by A inverse. You will be getting A inverse into A square minus 5 into A inverse into A plus 7 into A inverse into I is equal to A inverse into 0 matrix. This A square I can write it as A inverse into A minus A inverse into A is nothing but the identity matrix I. So 5i plus A inverse into I is A inverse. So plus 7 A inverse equal to 0 matrix, because A inverse into 0 matrix is a 0 matrix. So what are the rules you have made use of here? Since A inverse into A is equal to I and A inverse into I is A inverse. These are the two rules you made use of. Now, A inverse into A already written over there, which is nothing but I. So, IA minus 5i plus 7a inverse equal to 0. I into a is nothing but a. So, a minus 5i plus 7a inverse equal to 0 matrix, since I into a or a into I is nothing but a. That is what I made use of here. So let me keep a inverse in my left hand side and let me take that all the remaining terms to right hand side. I will be getting 1 by 7 into 5i minus a. 5i minus a. Now I need to substitute for the identity matrix as well as for a matrix to get a inverse. So therefore, a inverse is equal to 1 by 7 of 5 into identity matrix is 1 0 0 1 3 1 minus 1 2. Now let us simplify this. I will be getting 1 by 7 of the matrix. See, this is scalar multiplication of a matrix. So every element should be multiplied by 5. So I will be getting 5 0 0 5 minus 3 1 minus 1 2. Now let me combine the like terms. I will be getting 1 by 7. See here, 5 minus 3 2. 0 minus 1 minus 1. 0 minus of minus 1 plus 1. 5 minus 2 3. Therefore, A inverse is equal to 1 by 7 of the matrix 2 minus 1 1 3. Finally, you need to conclude your answer. A square minus 5a plus 7i is equal to 0 matrix. Prove. Then A inverse is equal to 1 by 7 of the matrix 2 minus 1 1 3. So that will be your final answer. Now let us move on to question number 21. Here you need to find the value or values of k so that the following function is continuous at x is equal to 0. The function is given to you as f of x is equal to 1 minus cos kx by x sin x if x not equal to 0 and half when x is equal to 0. See, you know the condition for a function to be continuous at the given point. Its left hand side limit should be equal to right hand side limit should be equal to value of the function at that particular point. So what I am going to do here, limit x tends to 0 of f of x is nothing but limit x tends to 0. The function here is 1 minus cos kx by x sin x. Here I am going to make use of the formula 1 minus cos theta is equal to 2 sin square theta by 2. So when I use that formula, I will be getting limit x tends to 0, 2 sin square theta here is kx. So kx by 2 by x sin x. So the formula what I made use of here is, since 1 minus cos theta is equal to 2 sin square theta by 2. So that is the formula I made use of. Now I am going to make some adjustments. What I am going to do is, this is equal to limit x tends to 0, 2 sin square kx by 2 by x square. So I am going to divide the numerator and denominator by x square. All these things should be written by you. So by x square by, here it will be x sin x by x square. Again I am going to make some adjustments over here. This is limit x tends to 0, 2 sin kx by 2 by x the whole square by, this is limit x tends to 0, x and x will get cancelled. I will be having sin x by x. Okay. Now I am going to make adjustment in the numerator alone, so that I will bring it to the form of limit x tends to 0, sin x by x, because that value is going to be 1. So that's what I am going to do. This implies, this is limit x tends to 0, 2 into sin kx by 2 by kx by 2 the whole square. When I do it, see here, sin square kx by 2, I am having here sin square kx by 2. But denominator I am having only x, the whole x square alone I am having. But I brought here k by 2 also extra. That means I have divided this by k by 2 the whole square. I need to multiply also by k square by 4 or k by 2 the whole square, so that the value will remain the same. By limit x tends to 0, sin x by x. Now, when I apply that limit, I will be getting 2 into, you know this, limit x tends to 0 of sin theta by theta is going to be 1. So, 1 square is again 1 into k square by 4 divided by limit x is 0 of sin x by x is 1. So this is nothing but k square by 2. Now, you have been given the function is continuous at x is equal to 0 and you need to find the value or values of k. I told you in the start of this particular sum, the given function is continuous only when its left hand side limit is equal to right hand side limit is equal to the value of the function at the point, given point. Here the given point is, it is continuous at x is equal to 0. So, this limit, what you got as k square by 2 should be equal to the value of the function at x is equal to 0. Because the value of the function at x is equal to 0 is nothing but 1 by 2. So that's what I am going to make use of. So let me do it here. Since the given function is continuous at x is equal to 0, limit x tends to 0 of f of x should be equal to value of the function at that point, that is f of 0. So, f of 0 is 1 by 2 and limit x is 0 f of x, we got it as k square by 2. Therefore, this implies k square by 2 is equal to 1 by 2, 2 gets cancelled, therefore k square equal to 1, this implies k equal to plus or minus 1. So, finally you need to conclude your answer. The values of k is equal to plus 1 or minus 1. That is how you will be concluding your answer. Now let us move on to question number 22. Here you need to find the equation of the normal to the curve y is equal to x plus 1 by x, x greater than 0, perpendicular to the line 3x minus 4y equal to 7. So, you have been given the equation of the curve as equation of the curve is y is equal to x plus 1 by x and the condition given here is x is greater than 0. First we make the assumption, let P x1 y1 be the point of contact, of the normal and the curve. Then what will happen? X1, Y1 will lie on this curve. So what will happen then? Therefore, P X1, Y1 lies on Y is equal to X plus 1 by X. That implies Y1 is equal to X1 plus 1 by X1. Name this as 1. Now let us find out what is dy by dx. Dy by dx is nothing but differential of x is 1. Then differential of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. Therefore, slope of the tangent is equal to dy by dx at x1 comma y1 is equal to, what is that we are having? 1 minus 1 by x1 square. 1 minus 1 by x1 square. This is the slope of the tangent. But what is given to you? The normal is perpendicular to this line. See here. This is the normal line. This normal is perpendicular to this line L1. Also you know, tangent line is also perpendicular to the normal line. That means tangent line is parallel to the given line. Because both are perpendicular to normal. Therefore these two are parallel to each other. So that's what I am going to write over here. This is only a rough diagram to make you understand. So since normal is perpendicular to perpendicular to 3x minus 4y equal to 7. Tangent line is parallel to, see here, tangent line is parallel to the given line, parallel to 3x minus 4y equal to 7. Implies slope of tangent is equal to slope of the line. Okay, what is the slope of the tangent? 1 minus 1 by x1 square. That is 1 minus 1 by x1 square is equal to slope of the line, which is, you know, when the equation of the line is given, the slope is nothing but minus a by b. Therefore, the slope of the line is minus 3 by minus 4, which is equal to 3 by 4. Since slope of the line is equal to minus 3 by minus 4, which is equal to 3 by 4. What's the formula? Minus a by b. That's the formula we made use of. This gives me x1 square minus 1 by x1 square equal to 3 by 4. Implies, cross multiply, 4x1 square minus 4 equal to 3x1 square implies x1 square equal to, what will you get? 4x1 minus 3x1 square. So x1 square equal to 4 implies x1 equal to plus or minus 2. Now you have to be very careful. It is given x is greater than 0. So the negative value should be rejected. So you need to write, since x is greater than 0, you know that minus 2 is rejected. Minus 2 is rejected. Therefore, x1 equal to 2. Substituting x1 equal to 2 in 1. 1 is nothing but what? That is y1 is equal to x1 plus 1 by x1. When you substitute here x1 as 2, you will be getting y1 is equal to 2 plus 1 by 2, which is equal to 5 by 2. Therefore, the point of contact is 2, 5 by 2. 2, 5 by 2. Now it is easy for me to write the equation of the normal. Slope of the tangent we got it as 3 by 4 implies slope of the normal is going to be minus 4 by 3. You know, when two tangent and normal are perpendicular to each other, when the two lines are perpendicular, then the slopes, you know that it is, if m1 is the slope of the tangent line and m2 is the slope of the normal, then m1 into m2 equal to minus 1. So using that formula, I am getting slope of the normal equal to minus 4 by 3. Therefore, equation of the normal is y minus y1 is equal to slope into x minus x1. That is y minus y1 is nothing but, here the point is the point of contact, 2, 5 by 2. So you get here 5 by 2 is equal to, slope is nothing but minus 4 by 3 into x minus, the x1 here is 2. Now simplify this, 2y minus 5 by 2 is equal to minus 4x plus 8 by 3. Cross multiply. This implies 6y minus 15. 6y minus 15 equal to minus 8x plus 16. Minus 8x plus 16. Now bring everything to one side. You get, this implies 8x plus 6y is equal to, take this 15 to the other side, you will be getting 31. So this is the equation of the normal. Finally, you need to conclude your answer. Equation of the normal to the curve is 8x plus 6y equal to 31. Now, here you need to integrate 1 by cos square x into 1 minus tan x the whole square dx. It's a very straight question. Now, integral 1 by cos square x into 1 minus tan x the whole square dx. Now, you know that 1 by cos x is nothing but secant x. So, this integral can be written as integral secant square x by 1 minus tan x the whole square dx. What is the reason? Since 1 by cos x equal to secant x. Okay. Now, put 1 minus tan x equal to y. minus secant square x dx equal to dy or secant square x dx equal to minus dy. Now this is what you are getting. Therefore this integral becomes integral. Therefore integral secant square x by 1 minus tan x the whole square dx is nothing but minus integral dy by, you have taken 1 minus tan x as y square. This is nothing but integral y power minus 2 dy. I have taken this y square to the numerator. Now when I integrate, what do I get? This is equal to minus, when I integrate, this is minus 1 by y. You know, integral of x power n is integral x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. That is the formula I am making use of. Since it is indefinite integral, you need to write plus c. So, minus into minus plus, so I am getting 1 by y plus c, but y is nothing but 1 minus tan x. So, let me substitute here 1 by 1 minus tan x plus c. So, therefore, integral 1 by cos square x into 1 minus tan x the whole square dx is nothing but 1 by 1 minus tan x plus c. This will be your final answer. You have to rewrite the answer once again. Okay, we will move on to the choice question. There is one choice question for this question number 23. Let's do it now. The choice question. Evaluate integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x the whole power n dx. So, integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x the whole power n dx. See, you know the property integral 0 to a f of x dx can be written as integral 0 to a f of a minus x dx. You know this property of definite integrals. Using this property, I can write this integral as, therefore, integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x the whole power n dx, I can write it as 1 minus x, see a minus x, a here is 1. So, x I am writing it as 1 minus x into 1 minus, again x is written as 1 minus x the whole power n dx. This is nothing but integral 0 to 1, 1 minus x into, see here 1 minus 1 will get cancelled, minus into minus is plus, you will be having x. So, x power n dx. This can be written as integral 0 to 1, see here 1 into x power n is x power n minus x into x power n is x power n plus 1 dx. Now straight away we can integrate this. This integral is nothing but x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 minus, when you integrate this, x power n plus 1 plus 1. So, x power n plus 2 by n plus 2. And the interval of integration is 0 to 1. Now, when you substitute the upper limit x as 1, you will be getting 1 by n plus 1 minus 1 by n plus 2. When you substitute the lower limit, anyway it is 0. So when you substitute for x as 0, 0 by anything is going to be 0. So you will be getting just minus 0. So this is nothing but 1 by n plus 1 minus 1 by n plus 2. When I take LCM, I get n plus 1 into n plus 2. Here you will be having n plus 2 minus of n plus 1. That will be minus n minus 1. Minus n minus 1. So which is nothing but n and minus n will get cancelled. 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. So it is 1 by n plus 1 into n plus 2. So that is going to be the final answer. You need to conclude your answer. Therefore, integral 0 to 1 x into 1 minus x the whole power n dx is nothing but 1 by n plus 1 into n plus 2. This will be your final answer.